Right, couldn't help myself. I've gone and done it again. Yeah, I know. So we're going to have to play this old thing. Okay. So shall we run through it just in case we get caught? Yeah? Okay, you be Mrs. Tweed, all right? Okay. What's that under the bench? What, this old thing? Yes. I've had it for years, my dear. Oh. Yeah, I think that went all right, don't you? Yeah. Yeah, we'll get away with it. Hello and welcome to Tweed's Garage, where in this video I introduce you to a new addition to the garage. Yeah, I know there's not a lot of space, but you can always find space, can't you? It's a 1949 Excelsior Universal, which is a small British manufactured 125 two-stroke with a Villiers engine motorcycle. Quite a cute little thing, and in some ways it's sort of quite vintage because it's got girder forks on the front, solid rear end. So yeah, so come and have a little look around it. So here it is, 1939 Excelsior Universal 125. Girder forks on the front. Smith's gear driven speedometer from the front wheel. This is the Villiers 9D twin port 125 two-stroke. A Villiers side draft carburettor rather than Amels of the period. Two rear facing exhausts. Outside flywheel, electrics on the inside, kickstart, 4-speed hand change gearbox. No twist grip throttle, throttle is via the Villiers hand throttle, lever for the decompressor. No ignition switch, so stopped by opening the decompressor. Lights and horn switch. Front brake lever. Clutch lever. And rear brake pedal on the foot pegs. With optional extra of wheelbarrow handlebar grips. And the ammo box on the back, if you're wondering, holds a 12-volt battery and anti-vibration mounted voltage regulator. So all complete and fairly original. Has been sort of painted over at some time. Could do with doing again. Engine, I haven't had it running yet, but it requires a new big end, and it comes with a new conrod and bearings and new main bearings as well. So that will be the next thing on the video, is to strip this down and overhaul it. So some more observant of you may have noticed that the handlebars are mounted upside down going this way. There is a reason for that. I'm only 5'10", and with the standard handlebars turned the other way, I'd be cracking my knees about there and there. So somebody a little bit bigger has turned them round. I mean, they were a lot smaller in the 40s. So this has got to be sorted, either with a sort of a razor bar and move them up and forwards a bit over here. Yeah, or a sort of a set of bars with a bit more shape that will bring them forwards. But that's a project in the future anyway. So there you go, there it is. Quite irresistible really. I couldn't leave it sitting there in a cold garage all on its own. So I thought I'd move it to another cold garage where it could live with others that are in a sort of similar state of disrepair. As I said, it's the bottom end. I think there's a lot of play on the bottom end on it, and the previous owner was collecting parts to rebuild it, but he wasn't going to get round to it, so that's why he moved it on. But I'd rather have it like that than restored with 10 miles on it. You're always suspicious of bikes or cars that have had a lot of money spent on them, done 10, 50 miles, and then they're up for sale. It does make you wonder. So, but he was kind enough to give me the spares with it. So it came with a new old stock, whether it's a factory reworked one or whether it's a new old stock one, conrod with new big end and bearings. Big end? Big end, yeah. Small end, big end, yeah. Bearings and a new bearing, a little end at the top as well. So that can go hopefully straight in. And then it came with some other bits. Come and have a look on the bench. So these are the parts that came with it. Like, he had been sourcing new bearings for the big end, new roller bearings, new small end bearing. It's got a new primary chain, and then 4 new bearings for the engine. I think there's 3 on the crank, 1 on the gearbox. God knows what the other end of the gearbox runs in, but that's on the output side of the gearbox. Set of piston rings, 30 thou over. He thinks he may have had the top off, and that could be the only reason that they're plus 30s, but we'll have to tear into that and have a look. And then the new old stock conrod, whether it's a brand new old stock one or whether it's a refurbished one, I don't know, but it's all solid, and it's still got its, you can see there, still got its sort of packing. I don't know what, does anybody know what that stuff is called? That sort of plasticky stuff that they paint over, greasy plasticky stuff that goes hard. Yeah, it's got all that on it, so I need to clean that off, and then that'll be ready to go in. So yeah, there you go, parts to go back in it. So there you go, just a little look, and yeah, I will be tearing into it quite quick because it's a job I can do on the vise, on the bench, and hopefully it won't take me too long to get it apart and then get it back together and then get it running again. Yeah, and then we can concentrate on other things again. Just a little distraction, I know, easily distracted, but yeah, there you go. A 1949 Excelsior Universal. All right, till next time. See you later. Cheerio. So some more of a... I had it then. This is the Villiers... Excelsior... It's not an international.